Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Kryptonite show. Your host Superman in the house, and we've got a fun lineup, man. It's going to be pretty cool. Now we're going to be looking at the evolution of stablecoins, so hopefully you're going to find that really insightful. Obviously, stablecoins are becoming a bigger deal, particularly with the US looking to do stablecoins. So, and the Trump Foundation Association. So, pretty exciting there. We're going to be looking, of course, at the world's best peer-to-peer dev, Jacob, looking to do PUSD Algo, the ultimate algorithmic stablecoin that's decentralized. And of course, we've seen that successfully run on the live Pulse chain as a testnet about a year ago, but it needs Oracle, which we're going to be getting very soon in terms of Signum Oracle, and obviously Fetch Oracle just launched. So that's going to be something cool we're going to talk about. So the evolution of stablecoins, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And of course, PSD Algo really is the real Pdai with a maker contract there not working as people would like, and of course exploiters out there as well. So we need a real holy grail solution. And fortunately for us, we have the world's best peer-to-peer dev, Jacob, that is going to be building it. And of course, we found out recently that he's going to be having he's got a whole ton of new devs to work on that project. So very exciting. And there's a few things happening in the background as well. So I hope you guys enjoy that. We're going to get into, obviously, Emmett Farm is coming up, possibly launch Sunday, but maybe let's say Sunday to Tuesday, somewhere in there. So that is exciting. And of course, I've posted the link to the airdrop chance for the airdrop there. You got to get in to participate. There's an airdrop list in there as well. You might get some free pulse airdrop to you in the Telegram. Also, it's related to the actual farm multipliers as well with the NFTs that are out now. So you can get bonuses there. And of course, there's an airdrop. I think it's up to 15% of the Emmett tokens there from the initial supply could potentially be dropped as well. So get in there, ask some questions about it. And they've got a live show. So I've got a live chat there on Telegram at the moment going on with the founder, Karis, there. So you can check all that out. So if you want to get in a chance for the airdrop participation, get in there. Tell them that Superman sent you, and get yourself on the list. That's pretty much it. So there's a little bit of a welcome bot there that will help you get on there. So get on that. We're going to talk a bit more about that later on. But we're going to check out the markets. Before we do that, though, let's check out who's in the chat there. We've got Brian, our community leader. Hey, Brian, hope you're doing well there. Now, I'm going to be doing a couple more videos today, specialized videos. So look forward to those coming today as well. We've got Wookie on the spot there. Hey, Wookie, good to see you. Big shout out. So we've got our two community leaders in the house. Got Property View in the house. Hey, great broadcast. I appreciate that, Property View. Big shout out to you. Hope you're doing well out there in the old property land, as we say. And of course, let's get into it without further ado. Let's get into the results for the stock market. And this will be the results for Thursday, US time. S&P 500 falls as Trump auto tariffs bite, inflation data eyed. Now, we saw Monday, Tuesday was green on the stock market, and then Wednesday, Thursday have been red, haven't they? Been a bit of retrace there. Now, we've got the Dow Jones is down almost a 0.4%, 155 points to 42,300. We've got the S&P 500 down a 30%, 19 points to 5,693. We've got the NASDAQ down just over 0.5%, down 95 points to 17,800 on the NASDAQ there. US dollar down a 30% as well, down just below 104 now. And let's have a look at the commodities, see how they're ticking away. We got West Texas is pretty flat, down slightly, $69.86. Brent oil up 0.4%, 30 cents to $73.35. Gold is making a bit of a move higher. That's pretty interesting. Up at $6.50, about 1/5% to $3,097. Silver there is up slightly to the $35.34. So we're getting a bit of move there on gold and silver. Now, some of the news, of course, is around the tariffs, Trump tariffs. You guys know what's the 2nd of April? Liberation Day. That is Liberation Day with the tariffs, reciprocal tariffs coming into play. So sentiment has been hit by President Donald Trump's announcement he will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made cars and light trucks effective April the 2nd. Now, as you guys know, Trump is looking to put trade barrier walls up for particularly selected sectors. Those include aluminium and steel in particular. I think there's also copper in there, and of course cars as well. And so what do you need? You need a domestic supply there of steel and aluminium. Remember, a lot of those industries aren't really going to be affected in the prices because there's a lot of dumping in the world, right? Chinese dumping and other India dumping. Everyone dumps, and the US has been the hitting bag, right? The move is expected to ramp up local automobile costs in the near term as manufacturers race to find new supply chains and ship more of their production into the US. But the 25% tariff also heralds pain for US automakers, given that the bulk of them operate factories outside the US, especially in Mexico. And of course, that means there's a carrot that people are forced to move their plants back into the US. In particular, ones that were going to be built in Mexico are now going to be built in the US. So Trump's strategy is working there, but short-term pain for medium, long-term gain, I guess, is the way to look at that. So yeah, that's kind of where we are there at the moment. Trump's auto tariffs a threat sparked renewed concern over the economic impact of the tariff agenda, especially as it gears up to impose tariffs on several major US trading partners on the April the 2nd, which is Independent or Liberation Day, I should say. So that's pretty much it. Now, US growth worries that the trade duties will dent US growth and potentially ignite inflation, have weighed in on US securities. Now, obviously, you're going to get a lot of liberal economists particularly concerned about this because that's what they love to do. Gross domestic product there increased at an annual rate of 2.4% during the period compared to 3.1% in the July-September quarter. And of course, Trump's inheriting, still the impact of lagged impacts of the high interest rates and the bad policies of Biden. So that's also going to weigh in on things rather than he's only been around for 2 months or something. So that is where we are there. Now let's quickly go to crypto and have a quick look at see how crypto's going. We've got Bitcoin looking pretty green at the moment, so it's kind of nice. Green across the board. In fact, let's go full mode here, and we can see that Bitcoin there at the moment is $87,328, up a 0.64%. We got the ETH there at $2,004, just holding on to that 2K mark, up 1/5% there, and BNB up 3.23% at $637. Solana up 1.85% at what's that? $139. ADA up 2.2%. At almost 74 cents. XRP up a third of a percent at $2.30, and we got Tron there up 2% as well, which you may not see there, but that's up 2%. And Suchain is up a massive 7% there. It's hidden behind me, of course, but that is up at $2.80 on Suchain. So pretty nice move there with those markets. Now we're going to jump into Bitcoin and zoom in on that in particular. So let's look there. We got our 50-day moving average is in yellow, and it's a short-term one, right? We got a 200-day moving average in orange. That's our long-term one. And we've got the fact that the Bitcoin price is sitting right spanking in the middle. Pretty interesting. And of course, we're avoiding that death cross that we were a bit worried about, that the yellow line, the short-term average, moved below the orange line, the long-term average, and that's a death cross. We don't really want that because it's typically going to be more likely than not get sold down. And so we obviously don't want that, especially if we're looking for altcoin season and all the rest of it. So we're sitting right in the middle there. Wow. So we got $88,800 for the 50-day, $85,550 for the 200-day, and we're sitting spank in the middle there, $87,173. So TikTok. And of course, as you guys know, we're expecting, Bitcoin to rally. Now, we're probably going to happen after Liberation Day. And of course, everyone goes, oh, well, we're selling off. It's bad news on Liberation Day tariffs. And then suddenly the market races away. That's probably, typical stuff, right? Oh, whoa, it's the end of the world, end of the world. And then suddenly the market takes off and altcoin season starts arriving, right? We're starting to 150, 250. So, yeah, pretty crazy time. Just like we just, February would normally be a really green month for crypto. March, good chance of March would be too. But of course, it's been, particularly for February was pretty lackluster. It was negative, down 70%, because Trump, special event around Trump's tariffs and repositioning the world and all that sort of stuff. So that is where we are with the old crypto for Bitcoin. And let's have a look at Pulse at the moment on Pulse Chain, 6 days, 685. We've got quadruple 0236 is the Pulse price there, down 11.5%. Still got fallout from Pdai. Still got fallout from liquidity pools. Still got fallout from Atropa Dev selling and dumping. Still got fallout from the Mr. Dong, the Pdai exploiter. They've still got a lot of the drama and controversies around all the influencers that are taking sides, but I think most of them now are on Richard's side. Maybe Somi is Somi in coexistence. Even Seven, is it Seven or Steven? Can't remember. Is the last people standing on that side? We'll see. But I did think coexistence was kind of capitulating a little bit yesterday, and maybe that just leaves Somi there, who is he still wanting to stay there? We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But we did see some pretty unusual stuff happening with the liquidity last night, so we'll talk about that too. Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 0197, down 17%, and the burn amount is 1.34 trillion. We've got incentive token down 13% there, $1.25. The ratio is still pretty good though, 53,000 pulse, so that's pretty interesting. Hex at the moment is almost just over half a penny on Pulse Chain. Can you believe it? The recent local high was what, 3.3 cents, something like that. And so yeah, getting pretty crazy now. So what's a million pulse on Pulse Chain going to cost you? $5,300. Whereas the previous high was what, 3.3 cents or something. So it was more like over 30,000 or something. So crazy how value changes. That is down a whopping 20%. That's a big day. We haven't seen something like that for a while. Now, EHEX is also down pretty heavy, 1,400th of a penny. I think EHEX is just such a wonderful pickup, honestly. The fact that it's down there is crazy. So yeah, EHEX there, pretty down there. Now, the combined price EX and PX is just mind-boggling at the moment, 6700th of a penny. I don't know, what an awesome opportunity. Now, we also saw some drama about Ravi Wallet not supporting Pulse Chain anymore. Just another knife in the back. Richard Hart has beaten the SEC essentially. We are waiting for the 30-day extension to play out, but their case is so damn weak. Good chance that it'll just get shelved. And here we are. We got Ravi Wallet, anti-crypto, anti-DeFi, right? That's such an anti, and then you can still add the chain with custom. It's just crazy. So just irrational stuff there. There's a lot of bad players that we saw Uniswap. We saw many others like that do that. And of course, there's been a lot of adoption for Ravi Wallet from the Pulse Chain community. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Now, obviously, there is Internet Money Wallet. So big shout out to KG. So people can download that. In fact, I'll probably start doing some more promotions on Internet Money Wallet because I probably haven't done near enough. And probably a lot of the influencers in Pulse Chain probably could do a lot more in that space. Indeed. So yeah, we'll see how we go there. So let's have a look at the gas prices. Gas has, of course, been very volatile in today. A lot to do with this, Pdai drama and dumping. Like even at the moment, it's pretty high, 12.7 million beats. Typically, I heard that the bridge, the official bridge, sort of slows down or turns off at 5 million beats. We're at 12.7, so I don't know what's happening with the bridge there at the moment, or whether it just adjusts with price. Don't know whether that was actually true because I know it gets backlogged, but I don't know what the bridge. I think there's about 13, 14 bridge validators, so I'm not sure whether that's heading. I need to find more details on that. But 1/10 of a penny for a Pulse X swap at the moment. Validators at the moment is also 48,500. So doing pretty well. And we'll look at the bridge. It's a big health check, right? The bridge. Yeah, we're down slightly. So I think we're down. We're down about $1 million from yesterday, 85.3. And the Pdai has gone down probably another 200K. So we're at 24.8. Obviously, ETH is going up in value. Bitcoin's going up a little bit in value. I'm not sure about the volumes, though. Obviously, we lost a bit of ETH over the bridge there with the Tropa Dev dumping, and EHEX prices down pretty significantly. So that's really dragging us down. The EHEX there, that's quite a bit. USD Tether and USDC. I'm not sure what they were because I never seem to track them in my mind for some reason, even though we're talking about stable coins today. That's pretty much it. Now, as you guys know, we do have native stable coins, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We got USDL, PXDC, XDC. They're all liquidity forks, so I'm going to talk about that when we get to the evolution of stable coins. And then we've got Coast, of course, which is the fiat-backed one, which has done an amazing job. And that's actually gone up. Look at that. So that was at $9 million. That's now gone to $9.2 million. So wow. Big shout out to the Coast team for that. That is fantastic. And we know that what's the ultimate coming? PUSD Algo. Forget all this nonsense about Pdai and stuff like that. We obviously are more a real opportunity is PUSD Algo. Everybody gets a chance to get into it, not just people and Pdai that got it copied over, and which is not bad, but this just not working. The contract's not working with all those problems that we've talked about before, oracles, and even replaying it. You still got oracle issues and historical prices, make the control of the maker contract, all that sort of stuff. So it's just too much hard work, right? Just too much hard work. Now we know that Matty Allen's looking at doing some Pdai drop for Pdai, and of course that's cool. I mean, it's a bit like a government bailout, but it's cool. And they maybe in a month or two or whatever, they might try and do a liquidity fork to support it, which means you probably put the Pdai in there as collateral, and then issue a new token there as well as a stable coin, right? So that would be our fourth liquidity fork essentially. But of course, we've got a better path. We've got a better path. We've got plenty of liquidity forks, all based on the Richard Hart tokens, Pulsex, and Hex. And we've got a Fiat One Coast. The one that we're missing is the ultimate, the holy grail, the algorithmic stablecoin. So we're going to talk about that coming up. And that's from Jacob. We're lucky to have Jacob on Pulse Chain, and he really is pretty dedicated. So we've got just under $50 million in volume last 24 hours, 458,000 transactions on Pulse Chain. And we see some of the better performers at the moment. Teddy Bear there. Teddy Bear's doing not too bad with some of its pairings with Treasury Bill. Now, obviously, Treasury Bill apparently was being minted and dumped or something by Troper Dev, as well as I understand it. We got Remember. It's been performing very well with the volumes. I know people holding Remember have been getting very nice Pulse payouts. Congratulations to them. That's up 23%. Some of the light amongst the darkness, as it were, as we're going through this pretty volatile time. And of course, Maker there is actually on a rebound too, up 18% at $9.49, which is kind of contrarian there. And of course, we've also got Finvestor, which is the grandfather of all these ecosystems with the Remember token, is up 14% there from the looks of it. That's got very little volume on that one, I just noticed. But we've got time dividend. That's why I said a big shout out to KG and his internet money wallet, because that maybe the whole Polsky community should start flocking towards that in a bigger way. Now it's had incredible downloads, so we might start highlighting that a lot more, particularly with the Rabbi wallet there, kind of backstabbing the Pulse Chain community really without the support. And there's no reason for it. Just pretty crazy stuff there. Missile as well, down is up 5%, and we got Love.io coming out of nowhere. And it's supposed to be a big social platform, but I haven't really heard much about it. And pretty flash website. The team talked a lot of it and back in the old Pulse Chain conferences, but really I haven't seen much on that at all. So just one of those things, right? So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Those are the leaders there on the trends, which brings us into the stablecoin issue, right? So I posted this here on X last night, the evolution of stablecoin models and the search for the stablecoin trilemma, holy grail. So if you're not familiar with the stablecoin trilemma, we're going to have a look at that at the end of this post, right? So Pulse Chain for the win. Now, it's pretty lucky to have something like PUSD Algo coming to Pulse Chain, right? So we've got this is PUSD Algo. I've talked about it many times. And of course, this is the big deal here. It's going to offer us a big stablecoin. Stablecoins are really important in the ecosystem, and particularly having a solution for the algorithmic stablecoin, very, very important. And of course, we know that Terra Luna failed, but this is a very different a set of technology and tokenomics than Terra Luna. And of course, I've covered that many times. Now, let's go through some of the history here. This might be a really cool insight for some people. We got USD Tether that launched on the 6th of October 2014. We then had Pdai launch on the 18th of December 2017. And then we had USDC coin launch on the 26th of September 2018, right? So they've got backed by different fiat reserves. And, there's a little controversy about USDC, but apart from that, they've kind of been the sort of the stables there, but like our Coast fiat-backed coin on Pulse Chain. Then we have Frax, 21st of December, LUSD liquidity forks. There's kind of two new approaches, and the liquidity fork in particular has been very successful. And of course, that launched on the 5th of April 2021. And we see that the Frax one there on the 21st of December 2020. Then we have Level USD, and this launched on the 29th of December 2024. Bold there was liquidity version 2, and this was an attempt to address the stablecoin trilemma, right? So we'll talk about that in a minute. So that's on the 23rd of January 2025. Then we had Frax version 2. That was also an evolution of their stablecoin to get a better result as well. And that's up. That was launched on the 7th of February. So look, all these stablecoins with the new technologies launching around this period. Isn't that crazy? Because of the evolution of crypto generally, right? Now we got Noble Dollar. Maybe some of you may have heard of that. That launched on the 5th of March, and that's backed by US Treasuries. So very interesting there. That's backed, and it pays an interest rate too. So that's pretty interesting there. And of course, now I've got 2025, right? So sometime this year, PUSD Algo should launch, all things equal. Obviously, we need the Signum Oracle. We need enough capital there too. But we also know that that Jacob's pretty dedicated now since the 17th of January to get this going. And recently we found out from Cult DeFi within the last week, who's his PR frontman, that he's hired some devs to proceed with PUSD Algo to completion, really. So this is very exciting. Those are all very exciting developments. We know that the Signum Oracle is expected to launch on the 11th of April as well. So very excited about that launching. And we know that Jacob is also probably going to be an Oracle reporter because he definitely picked up some of the Signum tokens right there. And I had a good conversation with a couple of the team members of Signum, and very positive there as they move forward to that final launch of both Tetra and Signum. And very, very cool stuff. We're going to talk a lot more about those projects in the week ahead. Now, why is PUSD Algo so good? Well, it uses new stability miner technology, and it's also got multiple DeFi yields attached to that. So it's going to be very, very exciting. And we saw working as a test live on Polestar about a year ago, and it worked incredibly well. It outperformed the stable pegging that the Liquid 3 liquidity forks have, or at least I think all three of them, but at least the USDL one. And it also outdid Coast as well with the pegging with the $2. So it was impressive. It was first couple of days a little shaky, but once you had enough stability miner bots on there, it was operating pretty well pegged. So pretty awesome there, and it's got multiple different DeFi's, right? So if we go back to the stability miner here on the actual, this is what I call a PUSD 1.0. It's kind of got the original UI. Now they're obviously probably going to refresh all this as we're expecting, as well as the docs on the platform. And so that people provide liquidity, and those liquidity can get deployed to support the peg. So it's pretty cool there. People can obviously mint PUSD with Algo. So Algo is going to be the big name on the block. So if people are going to be talking about Algo, and Algo means algorithmic, right? So it's pretty cool. So the branding is fantastic. Pretty easy to understand. PUSD Algo, Pulse Chain USD, can't be better brand than that for stablecoins. And of course, the stability miner is the technology there that's going to help keep that pegged. People are going to be able to earn, of course. They're going to be able to earn flex tokens on the platform. Everything you do earns a bit of flex. And also staking. You're going to be able to stake your coins like Algo and PUSD and also earn a yield there too. But what we'll probably see is because this doesn't have any borrowing aspects, so it's going to be very, very powerful. So let's talk about why that is so good and why it's kind of the holy grail, the optimal stablecoin trilemma solution. Now, what is the stablecoin trilemma? You hear these terms and you go, oh man, that makes me fall asleep. What are you talking about? Well, we're talking about the fact that is a stablecoin decentralized? Is a stable coin got stability? In other words, around that peg, is it going to be stable around that dollar peg? And number three, is it capital efficient? So in other words, does it use capital efficiently? And of course, sometimes in certain contexts, is it scalable? Right? Is it scalable? Can you actually grow the stable coin into a large number? And therefore, basically, the market cap gets bigger, right? Because everything's at $1. Can you scale that market cap? Because you're not restricted by capital, capital support. So let's just go through this a little bit there. So obviously decentralized, PUSD Algo is going to be fully decentralized. It's going to have stability miners there. So stability miner is going to be called to go support the peg when it needs to constantly. It's going to be making a little bit of money on that, doing that, keeping it pegged. And of course, stability there as well. Stability peg there is going to be pretty much strong to $1. It's also going to have a double peg, and it's going to have a double support in the sense that it's also going to be backed onto the liquidity fork USDL. So it's got that 2 layers of stability, which is pretty exciting. And then of course, capital efficiency. There is no capital gets called when required. There is no over collateralization. So you're not doing 150% collateral like liquidity forks, for example. You're not doing 115, 150%, 200%. You're not doing any of that. So you haven't got dead capital, right? So you put 150% a pulse in just to get 100% in stablecoin. So you're not doing any of that sort of stuff. So it's actually capital efficient. And then, of course, scalable as well. You can get as much algo as you want in here and start, minting away, right? You can just buy algo, and start minting the PUSD away there as well. So it's pretty cool. Now, there's a lot more details, of course, in the video series that I did with Jacob over a year ago. I highly recommend you watch that. You can just type PUSD Algo in the YouTube channel and you'll be able to see that. So optimal stablecoin trilemma solution looking very, very good. And of course, as I say here, capital efficient, scalable. It's not over collateralized and it's not limited by loan demand. We've seen with these liquidity forks on Pulse Chain, particularly in the current climate, that the loans just don't go forever. And so if it's not just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and therefore, people. You're not getting that stunted growth as it sort of reaches a natural gap, and we also see that on liquidity over on Ethereum as well, right? So this is going to be really unlimited, a bit like Terra Luna was to some degree, but without the problems, right? Terra Luna had a minting a problem where we had a bit of a time delay. It also had an inflation problem. It also had a yield problem, like Anchor was offering 20%, which is just too high. You got to have an appropriate yield, but you just want multiple opportunities there. And also, this will be likely to be more, unlike the other liquidity forks in Coast, or at least liquidity in particular, be able to scale more and therefore be used in more leverage on the Pulse chain. So that's very, very important. And of course, we saw Coast overnight jump from 9 million to 9.2 million. So, that offers a bit of scalability too when people bring in fiat directly. So pretty exciting. So this is going to be really neat, and the chance to really, really flourish. Now, obviously, when it flourishes on Pulse chain, this can easily be copied over to other chains as well and become a preeminent stablecoin on multiple protocols. So it's very, very exciting where this could go, right? So definitely worth considering and doing your due diligence and getting involved. Now, there are 2 bonuses if you want to participate in the sacrifice. Now, I call this contribution because it's more like that. And so obviously raising capital to get this thing up and running. Now, up to 75% of this project is going to be, the funds are going to be going into the protocol day 1. So it's going to go into the LP pairings and also into the stability miners day 1. And of course, then people will be able to flock their capital into stability miners to start earning yield, buying, staking, and all the rest of the stuff. So it's going to be quite a frenzy on this platform. And it's going to be pretty awesome to see Algo get paired up with a lot of project teams. Now, if it's very, very close to $1 peg, as we've seen on testnet, on a live Pulse chain test, then more project teams are going to start coupling it with it, right? So with Pdai, we saw PDGC coupling with Pdai. We saw a lot of other project teams coupling with that. Now, some degree to speculation, right? For the trying to ride the price up, but in other ways also because they thought Pdai might eventually get to $1 as well, and so you got that speculative gap between Pdai's price that got to about 3.3 cents, so up to $1. And of course, the idea that it would be pegged at one day was also some belief that people had. But of course, there's too many problems with it. And of course, PUSD Algo is fresh and at the frontier of stablecoin tokenomics, and not just tokenomics, but the holy grail of the stablecoin trilemma, as I just pointed out to you. So pretty exciting to where this will head. So yeah, very, very cool. Now there are 2 bonuses you can get. The 90% referral bonus, the link's in the video description for that. You're winning straight away with that. You don't want to miss out on that. And then number 2 is if you do about $840 plus the 90% referral bonus, that will get you to $1,000, and that will get you up to the bonus X, which is up to 2x. That'll be a random number that you'll get assigned to you, up to 2x bonus. So good luck with that. That could be really, really valuable to you. And of course, free. That's nothing like free crypto, right? Nothing like free crypto. So 90% bonus. Everybody can get to that for free. The link's in the video description. And of course, you do have to be patient with obviously the time frame. Also, with the Signum Oracle is coming out on the 11th. And then we're going to get an updated PUSD roadmap from Jacob once the Signum Oracle is running as expected. So that could be a few weeks or so after that. So we'll see. I'll try and keep you up to date with all the latest for that. But we do know that Jacob has recently hired some devs to move this project to completion. So very, very exciting. You don't hire devs if you're not moving it to completion. And of course, that followed up his bold commitment on the 17th of January to move forward with this ultimate project, because many of us in the community think this will be the flagship project of Jacob's. Obviously, Mafia, we love Mafia. It's going to be obviously the dominant game on Pulse Chain for the foreseeable future. Obviously, we know that Firewhale's got Crash coming, Crash X game coming. That's going to be fun to have that complement the gaming suite of Pulse Chain too. We need lots of quality projects, obviously, on Pulse Chain to build the long-term value. And hopefully we'll move people away from a little bit more, let's say, because obviously crypto is very speculative, but obviously move people slowly into more grounded protocols, let's say, rather than just constant high-end speculating. So we'll see. Just getting a little bit more people into that always helps raise the value of Pulse Chain longer term when you have better protocols being supported. So we'll see. The market will decide ultimately, but it's pretty neat having all that. We've got Wookie says BTC is the way. Yeah, nice one there, Wookie. Bitcoin doing fantastic. All right, so that is where we are on that one. So definitely check out the link in the video description for that. Pretty cool. And that 9% is pretty free there. Now, the other one I want to talk about is the Emmett farm. That is coming up. Probably going to launch. It's got a ramp up like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It may launch somewhere between Sunday and Tuesday. So the original date is Sunday, but because they're doing more promotion and marketing, might get slipped possibly into Monday, Tuesday. So just take the note that. But at the moment, you can get into the Telegram and participate in the airdrop list there. So just ask them if you can get on the airdrop list. Just say Superman sent you. That's the link. It's easy to do. Just click the link and join. You don't have to participate if you don't want. You just get in there, find the information, and do that. And yeah, you might get some pulse inside the Telegram. It also will benefit you in terms of the farm. And of course, there's I think something like 15% of the initial token supply. It's going to be dropped to participants. So if you've got airdrop points there, that's going to give you a part of that drop. And of course, get the NFTs. If you get the NFTs, you're going to get a bigger multiplier, right? The air points times multiplier, and also get some not have any fees in the farm if the farm is something you want to go into. Obviously, they can perform pretty well. Particularly in the short term, so definitely got to check that. But of course, Emmett has a longer term view. That's why they have a DAO, and they have probably a bigger roadmap expected moving forward for this too. So let's have a look at the NFTs. You can mint NFTs at the moment. They're only 1 million. There's 117 to be minted so far, and of course the pulse from this is going into the liquidity pool. So you're actually supporting the project, going live, right? So it's a win-win from that point of view. So if you want to go mint an NFT, you can check that out. So I'll just post that as well. This is for the farm, and of course you get a multiplier effect if you get into the Telegram there. So those are probably two things I'd do at the moment. Join the Telegram. Join the Telegram there, and then secondly, you can get an NFT if that's something you want to do. Now you've got to do due diligence. I'd probably get the Telegram first and get yourself acclimatized and understand the project. I have done 2 videos, one on the NFT and one on the tokenomics launch. So you can check that on this channel as well. But get into the Telegram and ask some questions. If you haven't joined Strategy Club in our Discord as well, join up our Discord. The link's in the description to that as well. We've got a community membership, $12.50 a month. And of course, the Strategy Club is $35 a month to join up to those today. Big shout out there to Wookie for that one. All right, so that's kind of where we are on that. So pretty cool. That is coming up. That's the next big thing coming to Pulse Chain. And, it couldn't come at a better time, I think, because of all the volatility and sentiment out at the moment. It'd be fun to have something that people can get into and make some good yields, right? So very cool there. Big shout out to Kairos and the team there, doing some great job. All right, so we're going to quickly look at Titanex. Now, Titanex, obviously, I'm not going to go through all this today, but it's still trying to find the bottom here at the moment. So we're just going to go look at Titanex. I'm not going to go through every token like I normally do, but we'll just have a quick look at where it is. So it's currently at 6 euros, 14.67 on the price. Let's have a look at the logs. Let's do log and auto. You can kind of see that's where it's looking at the moment. So down at the bottom of wave 2, still trying to find, is this the bottom? And of course, we're looking over at Wrapped ETH, which is the one I really look at. How's it performing against Ethereum? We're at 10 zeros, 7,300. So still sitting right at the local bottom here on this price. So is this the bottom? Are we going to turn up, or is this going to go down one more level? Obviously, we're up from the all-time low. That was all the way back here in April. We were at 10 zeros, 4,500. So we're still quite a bit up from that, but still after all this time, it's pretty low after that. Pretty big fall there. All the buy and burns are turned off, right? And Jake was not around marketing at all for over 2 months. He was building, but not marketing, which is one of the principles of the Titanex community. Now we've got DragonX, X28, and Shogun. Obviously, we talk about all those. Everything is kind of down here at the moment. Funny enough, it's kind of a bit weird, even though ETH is up, or ETH is kind of steady. But the fact that these aren't even steady or break even is a bit weird. So we've got a lot of them are down at the moment. But let's go over to we're going to go down. Oh, where's Volt at the moment? So Volt here is down 11%. But I wanted to go over to Uranus because that's been performing very well. So out of all these picks, Uranus has been doing very well. Over on Base Chain, it's the first Omni-Chain project. And I would like to mention, actually, Bonfire's had 2 good green days as well. So big shout out to the Bonfire team there. Now we're going to jump down to the big news today, and that was Bitcoin Genie. As you guys know, we've been waiting for Bitcoin Genie white paper. This is kind of Stevie D, the mad scientist. He's the founder of Vault. His Magnus Opus, so his combined bind holy grail. So just like we talked about PUSD being the holy grail of stablecoins, Genie could possibly be at least at the frontier, if not the holy grail of ROI DeFi protocols, right? So return on investment DeFi protocols, so risk return. And of course, this is the white paper came out today. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on that later on today, so look forward to that and break that down. Now, I know some of the basic tenets, but I have not seen the breakdown yet, so that's why I'll have to watch that, and then I'll do a short video on that too. So expect that. That could be a game changer. Now, why is it different? Because it's going to focus on buy-side pressure and sustainable protocols. So that's quite different from a lot of protocols we see, which are often a bit of both, supply side and a bit of a buy and burn, that sort of stuff, that kind of the bed tokenomics. But this here is supposed to have quite a few differences, including a limited time frames as well. So once I get my head around that and read the white paper, I'll do a video on that. But I'm very excited about where that could head, because we like being on the frontier of tokenomics and crypto. It's one of the things that makes crypto so good. And of course outperforms many other protocols, particularly TradeFi. Now, obviously, Taurus as well, waiting for that. That's another one that may have some similar type of tokenomics with a bit of a seesaw between demand and ROI. So we're looking forward to that as well. It's from Cryptographics. That could be his first major foray, and with all his knowledge about protocols, that could be quite amazing. So we're looking forward to that. So that's pretty much a quick update there. And of course, we've got Stevie D here. He's obviously the one that did Bitcoin Genie and did the live stream, so kind of cool. And yeah, so he's got here the white paper reveal. So I'll post a link to this in the chat there in case you guys want to watch this now. But I will be doing probably a short video on the white paper Bitcoin Genie, and I'll post the link to that. Now, if you haven't got to a strategy club, like Wookie said, definitely join up. There's the sort of things that we talk about in there. So get in there today. Only $35 a month. Really great value there. All right, so that is Bitcoin Genie. We can watch that one there. Now, that's the mad scientist on the right there. You can see he looks a little different, actually. He's been away for a while. Now, he's got here code is done, front end is done, first wave testing is done, 3 audits are incoming for Bitcoin Genie, and the testing phase will be 2 to 5. So not quite sure what that means. Testing phase 2 to 5. I guess he's got 2 out of 5 phases of testing going there. White paper released today. Let's get the Genie out of the bottle there. So not bad. That's from him there. So that was my final shout out, really. Not bad. So that's kind of our summary today. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. How are we doing for time? 37 minutes, man. This is the shortest live stream I've done for a while. But hey, look, we got everything out that we want to talk about. And we shall see. There's lots of other things that happened overnight. But I might talk about that on another show. Let's see. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that today. Let's just summarize everything that we went through. So obviously, if you want to join the Emmett farm, get some airdrops, then join up to that. There is, might get some pulse in the Telegram, might get some Emmett tokens, might get some booster multiplier for the NFT. Lots of opportunities there with the getting on that list. So just ask if you can get the airdrop list. Tell them that Superman sent you. And of course, jump in there today. It's easy to do. Just click the button on you get there. There's a great bunch of people. It's growing pretty nicely too. So get in there. And of course, if you want to see that white paper for Bitcoin Genie, you can watch it there. And finally, if you want to join our strategy club, that is the link there. So look forward to seeing you in there as well. Now, big shout out to everybody over on the Rumble. Big shout out there. Really been enjoying it over there. Of course, I can see we've got Brian and Wookie over there too. So big shout out over there for monitoring that chat, doing a great job. Look at that. Look fantastic. I'm just looking at it now. Looks amazing. So you guys doing a great job. That's why they're our community leaders, and love it. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next video. I'm probably doing a couple of short videos today, and may even do a second live stream today. So look forward to that later on. Take care, and bye for now.